Anakin, Darth Vader, is the journey of man.
Yes,
he is. He's Lucifer. He
well,
is.
and Christ.
Dude,
no,
exactly.
He is
The second episode
he
of
is
the
man.
podcast is about that.
He is born he doesn't know who he is. And so he's born a human being with original sin because he has all of the desires of someone who wasn't brought up in the Jedi Temple. He wants to love. He was attached to things. He has this ego about him. And that's not his fault. And then he goes through this whole transition and becomes aware and then dies and is resurrected and sent to heaven.
Absolutely. Real quick, I want to show you this. Maybe we can include it in the episode. Look, Alex, that's like the most famous painting of Lucifer.
Ooh, show the camera.
And that's Anakin. Oh, yeah, look. You could probably see it, right?
Wait for it.
Is it like
Wait
out of
for
focus?
it. There it is.
There it is. Yeah, so it's like a comparison. There's a shot where like they basically mirror the painting, the famous painting of Lucifer, and it's Anakin. And like we've talked in a recent episode about how, theosophically, theosophically, Lucifer is seen as like a representation of the journey of man.
Right.
So,
yeah, like
Alex,
the descent from the spiritual, and then we're here in the material, and we're learning these lessons through trial and suffering and struggle.
Yeah, I think, Alex, you're right on the money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you caught it in episode 1, but you know who Anakin's dad is, right?
The Force.
Yeah.
It's God.
Yeah,
the Force. He's also Christ.
Yeah, he literally was an immaculate conception.
Right.
He was an immaculate conception.
That brings me to my first note.
Okay.
And this is episode 1, arguably my favorite episode.
Same.
Of all of them.
It's tied between 1 and 3 for me.
One gets a lot of hate, but
does.
it is amazing.
It's a masterpiece.
It's my favorite. And I just want to take a moment to talk about Anakin's mother.
Let's go, Shmi.
And I just want to talk about motherhood because she is such an underrated character.
Yeah.
With such an important job, and did her duty like selflessly. She did not hold him back. It touched me a little bit because my mom's going through the same thing.
Oh,
I'm not Anakin, or I might be.
You are.
But I'm out of the house, my little brother getting ready to move away, and my mother feeling very like empty nester about it.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it's like you did it. Like your mission complete. And you're not over. Like your kids aren't gone.
Right.
But it's like she let him go, did not hold him back, did not shed a tear in front of him. And did like just so underrated, like you did such a good job. And I can't really find the words without being so sappy about it. But like that whole thing really hit me because she could have made it so hard for him to leave.
She could have.
And she could have been so jealous that it wasn't her.
Let's light one for Alex's mom.
Let's light one for Alex's mom. This is for you, Alex's mom.
Teresa
Shmi
Skywalker.
Teresa Smisha. Yeah. Yo, you know what, Alex?
Teresa Shmisha.
Alex, I have to admit, I didn't think you would say anything that like didn't occur to me already, and that might sound like pompous or whatever, but it's not like that.
Well, you've seen the movies 100 times.
I have.
He's seen them once.
And you know what, man? I've never like given Shmi time. I've never given time and been like, oh damn, like
she really
she's
goes hard as hell.
Bad ass mom.
Think even before he left. I mean, she recognized his talents.
Yeah.
She gave him
support,
the support and the free range to go and explore his abilities. She could have stopped him from pod racing.
Yeah.
Her rapport with Qui-Gon was amazing.
Dude,
too.
oh my God. And you know what it was? It was her faith. She was talking to Qui-Gon and she was like, there was no father. She said, there was no father. I had him. I know he's meant for greatness.
Right.
I know he's meant for great things. So like, it was her
just
faith.
So selfless.
Oh, dude.
So selfless.
Yeah.
And it's like to moms everywhere who are giving every ounce of of themselves for their children.
Shout out to all y'all all-star moms out
Yes.
there. It's
Shout
got to be
out.
one of the hardest jobs on the planet.
Yeah.
Shout out to
You
all
are
the moms.
shaping and molding the future. Thank you.
Shout out to the moms. Dude, come on with the heat, Alex. I'm
So-
proud of you, dude.
All right.
That's,
Yeah, you want to shift gears a little bit? Get a
yeah,
little bit
okay.
more Star
real,
Wars?
But real quick, did it so I never had that deep emotional connection to Shmi. So did it fuck you up when she died?
I felt like Anakin.
Yeah.
I would have done the exact same thing and more. Probably my favorite part of 6 movies is when he comes out of that tent and just cuts the head off of those, what are their names?
Tusken Raiders. Yeah.
Dude,
It's pretty raw, wasn't it?
oh my God.
It's so raw.
He killed the younglings.
He killed the men and the women and the children too.
And
They're animals, and I slaughtered them like animals.
Yeah.
Oof. That's pure anger right there.
I felt that.
Yeah. Like,
And I would have done the same thing.
and it goes back to what you were saying about the genius writing, Alex, because like you're watching it and you're like, God, he should not be doing that. But
Right.
like, I can't blame him.
Yeah.
Like I can't. They tortured his mother endlessly and enslaved her, and then she died slowly and painfully from her wounds.
I loved her passing.
Oh, really?
Like the timing of it, like I felt resolved. Like I'm glad that those last 30 seconds were the last 30 seconds. But I would have done exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
And I would have found more Tusken Raiders to continue on going.
What did she say to him? What did she say to him as she was dying?
She said something like, I am complete, or like, thank you, I love you, I'm proud of you.
Yeah. Like in her dying moments, she
was just like, yeah, that's all I wanted. Just to see you again.
Oh yeah, she's like, you came back. You came back.
And he
you
told
came
her
back
he would.
for me.
He told her he would.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I told you I would, Mom. Oh.
Well, I just keep thinking, we all watched the
heart.
third movie together last night, and I keep thinking about like how when he was having the premonitions about Padme dying, and he was like, I won't lose you, like I lost my mother.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the trauma of his mother like pushed him.
Yeah.
It was
So that-
integral to his
to me,
being.
And I started thinking about this last night after the movie, is this destiny thing.
Mhm.
And he has these dreams about Padme. And that's the main driver to the dark side.
It's
fear,
fear,
attachment.
fear.
Attachment to her. So he's having these dreams and trying to run away from destiny and is running headfirst into destiny.
Absolutely, and that's how it's usually represented in fiction too. You try to run from your destiny and it just pushes.
But I
pushes
think
you
that's
towards it.
I think that's real life.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you remember when he first had those nightmares about Padme dying, and then he goes and he seeks counsel from Yoda, but he doesn't tell him he's having nightmares because he's like he can't rat on himself for being
Jedi are not supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's going to Yoda. He's like, I'm having these dreams, these nightmares, premonitions maybe, about people dying, horror. And Yoda says, death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. We must learn to let go of our control.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's. I mean,
Dude,
come on.
So one of the most like famous quotes from Yoda in the whole Star Wars series is when it might have been in 2 or it might have been in 3, but I don't remember seeing it last night. But he says, "Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. These are the dark side of the Force."
Yeah.
He might have actually said that in the original movies.
It's like fear leads to hate, anger,
I think
whatever, and then
fear,
it leads to the dark side.
anger, hate. Hate leads to suffering, dude. And here is the crazy thing. You literally throughout the 6 movies see Anakin go through all of those.
Yeah.
He is afraid to lose the people he loves, which leads him into anger. He starts murdering the Tusken Raiders, and he'll do anything to prevent Padme from dying, which Palpatine tells him, you're going to have to go and slaughter all the Jedi.
And your former master.
Yeah, then you'll be powerful enough. And that mentality of Anakin having to like cut his emotions off and just brutally slaughter people, that led him into that deep hate. And then look where it ended up. His best friend cut all of his limbs off and burned him in a magma lake, and he is he is a walking, like he's, they say, Obi-Wan says he's more machine now than man. Like he is living in a state of pure agony and suffering.
I thought about that like karma being
Mm.
manifested, but like I thought of a few things in that moment. That reminds me of, it's totally not related to Star Wars, but it's the same thing, same esoteric message. When Itachi tells Sasuke, like, you have to kill your best friend to develop your Mangekyo Sharingan. But, if we're thinking about this from a syncretic or syncretistic standpoint of like looking at these mythologies, you can say Star Wars is a mythology, and we're extracting the spiritual data, the spiritual wisdom that's like hidden beneath the core. It's like, the symbolism there is like, I think Alex's theory is correct. It's like, Anakin is not only the story of man, but it's also like the story of the path to enlightenment. And it shows you both sides. It shows you like, if you take the left hand path, which is service to self, he's selfishly disobeying the good and the will of the macrocosm to further his own power for his own selfish material gains.
But it was for Padme.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was for himself.
It was for him. He said he didn't know how to live without her.
He killed her.
Yeah, he killed her.
That nightmare he had, he manifested it through his selfishness and evil.
He choked her. He choked her pregnant. Like he literally killed her.
Yoda or Obi-Wan literally. No. Sidious at the end tells him, it seems in your anger you've killed her.
Yeah, his anger killed her.
Yeah, which
he manifested his nightmare because he took the left hand.
Well, he was
path.
having nightmares of his destiny.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's like the free will thing. It's like
running-
right-hand path versus left-hand path. And that's what I love about Anakin. Because then, we know that like we're constantly reincarnating upwards and learning lessons in between lives. I know that he's just living one life, but it's symbolism here, right?
So let me interrupt you real quick because we're really close. So in episode 3, he walks into the Jedi Temple to slay all the Jedi, right? Ryan, the cross, the symbol of the cross, the
Spirit and matter.
And when he walks into that temple, he is walking across the matter axis. So he is walking the path of man being material and attached into the Jedi temple before he kills all the Jedi.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, so now that you've had time to process episode 3, what did you think about it?
I want to back up real quick. I got notes on 1.
Okay, bet. Let's go. Back to 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the Duel Fates, right?
Yep.
Duel
Darth Maul.
Fates.
So obviously, fantastic battle, great choreography, whatever. But I thought after watching this, I was like, what a great snapshot. And just if you wanted to know about the dark side in one battle, that's the battle to watch.
It is.
Because he essentially kills help me out. Qui-Gon. And his lightsaber sitting next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Obi-Wan is hanging. Darth Maul kicks the blue lightsaber off the ledge. Now, this is where faster, easier, more seductive comes into play, but he didn't think it all the way through because Qui-Gon's lightsaber is still there. So he is so wrapped up in what he's doing in the moment, Darth Maul is, because he's a Sith. He doesn't realize the long term that the other lightsaber is over here, and that is his downfall because Obi-Wan jumps up, grabs the other lightsaber, becomes the master, switching colors.
Yeah, yeah, symbolic.
Like that's obvious
grabs
one.
his master saber.
Yes, that's the obvious one. But I just thought the whole Darth Maul did not think it through to be very foreshadowing to the Sith.
Well, that's how the Sith fight. Like
Passion.
Exactly. They look inward. They react with passion. They exalt their emotions. It's their it's their driving force is their emotions.
They're not processing as well as the Jedi.
That's illustrated with in the third movie when Lord Sidious starts fighting. He's like, he's like geeking out. He's loving it. He's like licking his lips.
Yeah.
It's emphasizing his lust, his kind of like not to be inappropriate, but kind of like orgasmic. Desire to slaughter these Jedi.
He has like bloodlust. He's giggling and like it's really really creepy. But the amazing thing is the Jedi. The way that they fight is they literally just let go of everything and let the Force guide their blade. I mean, look at Luke. His first training with a lightsaber blindfolded him, and you have
Use
to
your
feel
feelings.
it. You got to feel the Force. You have to feel where the Force is trying to guide you.
Before we get too far, I wanted to bring something to Alex